there goes Mason. Had a great time with him, a great visit. He was a fabulous host. Spent lots of time talking about and catching up with a whole bunch of stuff. So I got nothing but cool things to say about Mr. Mason. Let's get on the road, kiddies. Time to pull out a Dodge, as they say. And then get on the road. I need to go get some gas, because I'm running a little dry at this point. First gas station I come up to, gas is getting crazy pricey. OMG. It's like $3.24, $3.50. I'm like, this reminds me of California prices. You know, before I started this trip, gas prices were cheaper. Not so much anymore. All right. Time to hit the road, kiddies. It's been fab. Gotta go. At least I hope so. So I'm driving along. I had to take a detour off of I-64. I've come across, they detoured 245 or something like that. And I'm driving along and I find this. About 2 miles northeast stood Chestnut Grove, the plantation home of John and Frances Jones Dandridge, where Martha Dandridge, the eldest of 8 children, was born on the 2nd of June, 1731. She lived there until the 15th of May, 1750, where she married Daniel Park Curtis and moved to his plantation, White House, on the Pamunkey River. According to tradition, the wedding took place at Chestnut Grove. Curtis died in 1757, and 2 years later, Martha Custis married George Washington. Chestnut Grove, a 2-story farmhouse with 6 rooms, burned in 1926. Wow, I did not know that. That is so cool. Wow. You see what you learn? John Park Custis. Wow, hold on a second, this is good. It's the marker. John Park Custis. While acting as aide to General Washington in the Yorktown campaign, he became seriously ill and was taken to the home of his aunt, Mrs. Burwell Bassett, where he died November 1781, with General and Mrs. Washington at his bedside. Jesus! I love this shit! This is way cool! Wow. Now see, this is what I like. I like little history tidbits like that. And it's not the dates and the times and the places, it's the stories that are sitting there. Wow! I know you might not find that all that interesting, but this is Martha Washington's birthplace, right here, right where I am. That is cool. And I just came upon it. I was like, I'm driving past and going, this is why I'm out here. Right here, this right here. So I had to like, and pull over, and Martha Washington. I will bet you any amount of money that almost nobody sees that sign. Nobody sees that plaque. Way cool. I'm in North Carolina, just crossed the border, and it was an uneventful crossing, let's put it that way. It was like, oh, there's North Carolina. You blink, you miss it. So I'm on my way to see Andrea, my first stop in North Carolina, in the Outer Banks. I'm about an hour outside of the Outer Banks at this point. Like I said, it's been a pig's age, several pigs' ages since I've been in this neck of the weeds for anything other than tango. And I mean, like I said, the last time that I was here was, or this, even close to this, was when I was 5 years old. I don't know. I have no idea whether or not I actually have family in the area. I probably still do. But it's my father's side of the family, and he basically kept us under wrap and key, like we never existed.
I only met my grandmother just that one time, that my great-grandmother just that one time. A couple of questions have come up. One, have I ever met anybody from my father's side of the family? And interestingly enough, yes. And it happened purely by chance. At the time, I was going to Northeastern University. I'd been there for about 2 years. And there aren't that many people in the world with my former surname. So when you see one, you go, is that a possible relative? So I'm in line to pick up my check for the week. And there's this long ass friggin' line, and it's like the holiday weekend. It's like, you know, a week before Thanksgiving, and everybody obviously wants to get paid. And I get up to the desk. Well, here's your check. So I go up to the bank teller window, which is like right around the corner, and I sign the back of the check. And I didn't even think about it. I didn't even look at it. The woman looks at my check and looks at me and says, "This isn't you. This isn't you." I said, "What do you mean that's not me?" Because, you know, I've been going to the same bank for about a year and a half. She's like, "This isn't your check." I said, "What do you mean that's not my check?" This isn't your check. This belongs to somebody else. I'm like, "So give me that." Sure enough, it's not my name. So I go back to the student union, get in line, and I wait in line. And I'm waiting in line for like 25 minutes because it's like I said, a long ass friggin' line. I finally get up there and I said, "This isn't my check." And she says, "What do you mean that's not your check?" I said, "That's not me. Who is this? And and more importantly, where's my check?" She goes, "I think I know what happened." So they obviously keep receipts, and every time that you rip a check and you put it into an envelope, you have to keep the receipt of the check. It belongs. She gave my check to the guy who is the owner of this check. And as it turns out, I ended up going to his room, and his dorm is 2 doors down from my dorm. So I knock on his door. They let me into his dorm room, his dorm building. I knock on his door. I said to him, "I think this is yours." And he goes to get his check. He's like, "Oh my God, this is your check. I didn't even look." I said, "I didn't even look either." So we get to talking, and I said, "This is you know, this is somewhat unusual that, you know, we both have the same last name." I said, "Where are you from?" He said, "I'm from North Carolina." I said, "Not," and I named the town. That town no longer exists, by the way. I said, "Not," he's like, "Yeah, that's my hometown." I'm like, "You're not related to," and he says, "Yeah, I am." And I'm like, "Are you Charlie's son?" And he said, "Yeah, how do you know that?" I said, "Because I'm so-and-so's son. That makes us cousins. He's your father is my father's younger brother." And he went, "Oh my God." So we start talking about family history. I'm learning things about my family I had never known before. I remember him only by chance, because when if you'll remember the story that I told you about, you know, going to see my father and going to see my grandmother, I stayed at his house for like a half a beat for like, you know, 40 minutes, what seemed like 40 minutes. And for me, I got woken up in the middle of the night, got transported to a bed, and then get woken up the next morning, and then we were out of there. And the next thing I remember is going to see my grandmother. And lo and behold, he starts talking to me about family I've never heard of, I don't know, I've never met. But I do remember meeting his father. So we end up, you know, chit-chatting, and as it turns out, not only is he 2 dorms down from me, but he's in the same program as I'm in, and we actually have 2 classes together. And we end up graduating. He ends up graduating from the same computer science course, and getting his degree in computer science. And of course, we're right behind one another in getting our diplomas from the college. So his name is called His father couldn't make it. My father couldn't make it. My mother didn't go because she was too sick. And his mother didn't go. So basically, we were there without family, from graduating from college, and that was it. And then that was pretty much the last time I saw my cousin from my father's side. But that's how I met him. Really weird. Anyways, I think that is enough yapping for today. Thanks a bunch for listening to my wonky stories. I hope you found it somewhat entertaining. I've got another, what looks like to be about another 35 minutes to get to Andrea's place. Look at that! OMG! You know what? I'm gonna leave you with that. Well, that is enough fun for today. Hope you enjoyed this tiny little visage. Instead of me covering up the camera, tell you what, let's just go with this one for a little while, shall we?